Thursday, August the 25th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here along with you. Lots to talk about. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about the goings-on in the tropics and the disturbance down in the Caribbean here as the video rolls along. A couple of web cameras across the state of North Carolina this morning. Avalon Pier cam on the left. Beach Mountain Parkway cam, courtesy of resortcams.com on the right. Temperature 63 atop Beach Mountain and 72 here during the 5 o'clock hour at Kill Devil Hills. A little warmer across the region in many instances yesterday, up to 93 in Birmingham, 95 in Jackson, Mississippi. Macon, Georgia, 93. It was up to 91 in Columbia, 89 in Fayetteville and Charlotte. Now, those temperatures are a little bit off of the previous day's numbers, but it got a little muggier yesterday, and we're going to keep that trend of increasing humidity levels going over the next couple of days. Another pretty nice day in the Triad yesterday. Still relatively low humidity up that way for the Triad, but muggier around Charlotte. We'll have upper 80s and even a 91-degree high in Wadesboro. Again, 5 o'clock hour temperatures, a little warmer than where we have been for the past couple of mornings as we're seeing the drier, cooler air get replaced by warmer and muggier air. Once again, dew points still not bad, but these are going to be creeping up here as we move forward in time today. All right, radar quiet for the time being, and really most of the southeast is quiet on the radar imagery this morning. Now, very active ongoing weather over parts of the Ohio Valley and the Midwest this morning, even some severe thunderstorm warnings early this morning in Illinois. And it was a very active afternoon and evening. You had this round of tornadic activity move from Indiana into northwestern parts of Ohio. A lot of issues with tornadoes up that way yesterday along that front. Now that front in a much weakened state drops into North Carolina on Saturday. Now you notice again here on the modeling a few thunderstorms trying to make it out of the mountains and foothills and down into the northwest Piedmont. That's a possibility. I still think most of us outside of the mountains and the foothills though will be rain free today. And getting a little warmer and muggier. There's our highs this afternoon. Dew point temperatures creeping up just a bit today compared to recent days. So we're now up more toward that uncomfortable portion of our dew point comfort scale. So as we take a peek at tomorrow, the heat and humidity really taking hold. Most of us rain-free for your Friday, and then look at these numbers tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be a pretty hot day and a pretty hot weekend overall. Now Saturday, that front, again, in a weakened state drops in. So some isolated afternoon storms Saturday, and there's your Saturday highs. Will be a pretty sticky day too. And just to wrap up the weekend, there's our Sunday high temperatures. All right, tropics. Of course, you have Gaston out there in the eastern Atlantic, became a hurricane, but the 5 a.m. advisory this morning. You also have the tropical disturbance there in the northern Caribbean. So let's talk about Gaston first, since it is the classified system. Again, became a hurricane with the early morning advisory today, 75-mile-per-hour sustained winds, but probably weakens back to a tropical storm today, and then later on in its life cycle becomes a hurricane again east of Bermuda, but it should stay well out to sea. All right, our tropical disturbance. A lot of talk about this. You might have seen some social media posts and whatnot, and really there's still a lot of uncertainty with exactly how this will behave. I'll show you the spaghetti charts on this. And again, we don't have a well-defined low-level center. You have to take these spaghetti charts with a huge grain of salt. But just the trend here. I think this is going to be near South Florida by late in the weekend or Monday. And then from there, does it continue heading west into the Gulf of Mexico? Does it curve up the coast? That all will depend on the strength of this upper level ridge. It's overhead here to wrap up the week. If this ridge breaks down sooner, it allows a more northerly track for this system. If it holds stronger, it shoves it further to the west. Both are possibilities. Now here's the latest European run. Sunday morning it's approaching South Florida and then curves north from there up toward the Big Bend region, where previous runs had it further to the west at times. And either of those solutions is really a viable option. Again, let me show you what's happening in the upper levels. This is the European model valid today. You go out to Saturday, that ridge is still strong, but then you get out to Sunday. And there it is, again, the system approaching South Florida, ridge over top. And then you get out to Monday, the ridge is weakened enough that you see the motion of that tropical system moving north. And I want to compare that to the same time frame with the European model run 24 hours ago. All right, so again, there's the latest run, and here's the one from 24 hours ago. The ridge was stronger, the track of the tropical system both quicker and further west. And that quicker motion of the system meant it gets further west before that ridge breaks down. Back to the more recent run, again, this is Tuesday, and there's the system moving into the Big Bend region of Florida, whereas the previous run had this much further to the west with that ridge holding just a little bit stronger. All right. All right, I want to show you this. This is the Hurricane Wharf computer model run, and it is more of a southwesterly track into the Gulf of Mexico out as you get into the early to mid stages of next week. And another chart to show you that I just thought this was interesting. Here's the Canadian model. All right, so this is what would become Hermine, that disturbance near the Caribbean. This is Gaston, east of Bermuda. And actually, believe it or not, this is what was once Fiona, that the Canadian model shoots westward and tries to intensify near the Outer Banks. Now, that's a weird solution. That's probably not going to happen. I just thought it was interesting nonetheless. Very different scenario on the GFS, all right? First of all, this is today. There's your mainly high country afternoon thunderstorms. Tomorrow, Saturday, there's your little better chance of a few isolated afternoon storms. Sunday, GFS wants to push some drier air in here from the north. There's your dew point temperatures by late Sunday. That's probably a little bit optimistic, but maybe a slightly drier air mass by Sunday and Monday, cutting down on the rain chances. There's Monday on the GFS. There's Tuesday. There's Wednesday. Notice really no sign of any well-defined tropical system. Finally, there's Thursday. Now on the European, again, that track goes into South Florida on Sunday evening. And then there is the system, let's see. Yeah, let's go back to here. There's the system Wednesday evening, and that shield of rain extending up into much of the Carolinas. There's Thursday early afternoon, and then finally out to sea, it starts to go by Thursday night. And of course, on the European model, most of the Carolinas, especially south and east of Interstate 85, get a good soaking out of this. But this is one run of one model, and so you cannot even come close to taking that to the bank as of yet at all. So what I've done with my forecast package today, I do favor the idea of maybe getting some type of impact up our way by mid to late next week, but it just depends on the track. If that further west solution toward Louisiana occurs, then we might not have anything really of significance from this system. Or if it fails to develop at all, as the GFS shows, you really get no impact. So there's still a lot of moving pieces with this, and we'll have to continue to keep you up to date. And just a reminder, on Time Warner Cable News, on the television side of things, we have full tropical updates for you at 21 minutes and 51 minutes past every single hour. All right, that is it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thank you for watching. Everybody have a great day, and God bless.